Hello, this is a companion to our upcycled zip pouch video, so you can learn how to do the applique for the butterflies that I added to the denim. I've tried to give alternatives to things you can't always find in Chile, or for that matter in your house during lockdown. Hopefully you have some Wonder Web, which is the go-to emergency hem fix. I went ahead and used the stuff I bought here, and it works well. It only has paper backing on one side, unlike Heat and Bond, hence the need for my trusty Bake-A-Glide, which I've got to say is more useful in the sewing room than the kitchen. Okay, at least as useful. I hope between these photos and the written instructions that are coming up, you'll be able to learn how to make your own appliques. Remember, you can pause the video to read the instructions, and you can also download the PDF of the instructions. There's a link in the description box below. Right, I'm just going to top stitch around the butterflies with this thread. It's actually, it is thread for jeans. It's not a great match for what these jeans were made with, but it'll do. So I've had to change to a top stitching needle, which has a bigger eye. And this is a number 90, which is less than I would normally use for denim, but it's what I have. So I'm going to bring up the bobbin thread to the top because I want to know where it is when I start sewing. I don't want to accidentally sew over it and tangle it up somewhere. So I'm going to keep it at the top. This is exactly how you would start if you were machine quilting, actually. Now, I'm pretty much doing this stitch by stitch, one stitch at a time. And I have a knee lift on this machine, which is why you might think the presser foot is lifting by magic. But I'm just taking one or two stitches and then turning enough to be able to stitch the outline. And if I go fast, I will definitely run over the edge. And I don't want to do that. I want to just keep everything nice and neat and on, or as close to the outline of my butterflies as I can. And that was right on the edge. Now, my machine is pretty well behaved, and I can just literally put my foot on the pedal and push and then lift off, and I take one stitch at a time. If your machine doesn't do that, you can just go as slow as you can, and you'll periodically have a couple of stitches that might not be just where you want them. Or you can always go and use your hand wheel. Turn the hand wheel, lift your presser foot by hand. It's slow, but it lets you be accurate, and that's what's important here. And this is, you know, a decorative thing, right? It doesn't serve any purpose. It's just to be pretty. So if you can't take your time and do it slowly, there's not really much point in doing it at all. Down here, as long as I still go slowly, I can just do stitch after stitch because it's pretty much a straight line. I just want to hop over a bit further here. There we go. And I'm going to cut these threads. These are curved scissors, which are very good for cutting right down on the surface of the fabric. So the threads, when you cut threads with it, it doesn't leave a tail. Because what I'm going to do when I get down here is I'm going to stitch 2 stitches overlapped with the previous stitching. And then I'm going to use my lock stitch. So I want to make sure I land right on that. And now I'm going to use the lock stitch, which stitches a few stitches in place, and my thread cutter. And that's my butterfly outlined in top stitching, and it will never come off.